This is an initial collection of house rules to be used in Axis and Allies. You can use them to increase fun or realism, but make sure they don't break the game mechanics. House Rule 1. Realistic Sea Blocker.
The name of this house rule is Realistic Sea Blocker. The purpose is to fix some issues with naval movement and naval battles that are not super realistic. First time I saw this was in a video by Sireblood, who developed Bloodbath. It works in all editions of Axis and Allies. So the current problem is that in the official rules, a navy needs to stop whenever it comes across an enemy ship in a hostile sea zone. So this means that all of these super American fleet would have to stop here because of this single tiny Japanese destroyer. In order to fix that, make it more realistic and more fun, an enemy ship can block up to 3 ships, meaning that the American player, that in this case was to move from Wake Island to the Marianas to invade here, he would have to designate 3 of these ships to stay here, and the rest could move on. Okay, in this case, I am the American player. I would select submarine, destroyer, and 1 aircraft carrier to stay behind and have a combat with this Japanese destroyer. All of the rest of the Navy would keep moving into the Marianas and do the naval combat with this other Japanese destroyer, and then use these 2 land units to invade the island itself. Okay, so resolution here, you would have 2 battles. One in Sea Zone 23, you resolve that. Regardless of results, you still have the battle in Sea Zone 22, and then the amphibious attack in the Mariana Islands. Okay, so this is how it works. The advantage, I think it's more fun, more engaging, more realistic. It forces people to think a little bit more. Now, the con is that it favors the American player, because America is the one that will have the strongest, the largest navies. Secondarily, it helps Japan, who is also a very strong naval power. In order to balance again the game, I strongly recommend that you also include the Wolfpack German submarine house rule, which I am going to explain in the next video.
House Rule 2. Wolfpack. Dreadful Submarine Warfare.
The name of this house rule is the Wolfpack, and it only works with German submarines. Like, no other player or no other naval units can use that. The purpose is to add a little bit of historical accuracy. The first and second phases of the Atlantic War up to 1943, the German U-boats had a big advantage technologically and operationally, and those were called the Happy Days. The U-boats would hunt together. Those were the Wolfpacks. How it works in the game, it works in any X-Analyze edition. By the way, the first time I heard about this rule was years ago. A YouTuber from Wisconsin, it came from there, as far as I know. How it works is, if the German player has 3 submarines and they attack, in any attack, they get an extra dice. So instead of rolling 3 dice, the German player would roll 4 dice. Like using battle dice, the ones I customized, and I have a video about these dice. But let's use the official ones. So you would roll 4 dice, add a 2 instead of 3 dice. In this case, I got 2 hits. And this is only for attack, whether or not a destroyer is present. So if it's a surprise attack, you also roll 4. I don't think this breaks the game. It adds a fun element. It actually encourages the German player to consider reinforcing their marine, right, the Kriegsmarine, and spend more in submarines. So that's it adds a layer of strategic complexity. Another big bonus of this rule is that it offsets the realistic sea blocker that I mentioned in a different video as a big benefit to the Americans, because that's the nation that tends to produce larger super fleets. This is a great combination to use the German Wolfpack, so that it makes the game even for both sides.
House Rule 3. Super Battleship Hero Units.
This house rule is the Super Battleship, which is a type of hero unit, which is a big chapter in house rules in Axis and Allies. There are many variations of this Super Battleship, and I'm just going to give you the simple version and give you some options about with pros and cons. And it tries to solve a situation or a problem in which the naval units are very bland. They're all the same color. There is no personality to these units. So the Super Battleship gives you an additional tactical option and variety to your game. The four major powers, US, UK, Germany, and Japan, they have their own hero battleship units. In the case of the US, you would have these painted units. So you would have painted or marked battleships that are different than other battleships. In the case of US, you would have the Iowa class. UK, you would have the King George. The Germans would have the Bismarck, actually here, and the Japanese would have the Yamato. Now, I bought these units painted online. You can find them somewhere. Some hobbyists, they will paint them for you, or some stores. Or you can just actually, if you don't have or don't want to paint, you can mark them, your battleship, as the hero battleship, the super battleship in the case here, or UK, if you don't have painted units, you can do that. How it works, these super battleships will have a bonus in their attack and defense, and these are something you have to consider. It will attack at the 5 and defend at a 5, not at the 4. In addition to that, it would take 3 hits, not 2 hits, to sink them. So these are very special units, super powerful. And now let's consider some variations. You might think that the attack and the defense bonus are too powerful, so you can just decide to have the 5 for attack, but not the 3 hits, or vice versa. You can choose to have the 3 hits, 1, 2, and 3 to sink, but not the 5 attack and defense. Another option, some people allow you to purchase them. Instead of 20 IPCs, you would pay 24. Now, in my case, I personally prefer them to have as a really hero single unit that once they are sunk, you cannot have another one, because they are so special, so expensive, so difficult to produce that you would have only one of these. Very popular. Also, another thing, the minor nations will not have it, like Italy, Russia, or Soviet Union, or Anzac will not have those, because these are super special units. And I've seen this a lot online, different forum, different modifier gamers. So it's a way to add more spice or flavor to your game. So, have you tried this? Leave your comments below.
House Rule 4. Tactical Bomber Attack Select.
This house rule is called Target Select. Target Select is a mechanism by which you choose what unit you can attack as an attacker instead of the defender choosing it. In this case, I'm applying the Target Select to the Tactical Bomber. The goal of this rule is to add a layer of efficiency or precision to reflect what tactical bombers used to have, especially the Stukas in the Second World War. It's a common house rule. I've seen it online, I've seen it in games. And basically how it works, in the regular game, the attacker rolls the dice and say got 2 hits. The defender chooses the hits, right? In this case, rationally, the defender will pick this and leave the tank, which is more powerful. In the target select case, in this case Germany, the tactical bomber would announce target select into the tank and then roll separately a die for a 3 to destroy the British tank. And then in this case, if you get the hit, the tank is the first to go. Okay, so because the attacker chose it. This is only for the first round of the battle. If the battle is ongoing, the attacker cannot use target select on the second round or third round of this battle. It only works in the first round. Second thing is that the tactical bomber loses its bonus power in the case if it's paired with a fighter or a tank, which is not the case here. This would bump up to attack as a 4, but not if you choose to use target select in the first round. Okay, so this adds an intricacy of precision, and I think it's cool. It also encourages you to maybe purchase more tactical bombers. So what do you think? Have you used this? Do you like it? I think it's good.
House Rule 5. Elite Units.
Next, analyze. An infantry is an infantry, a tank is a tank, fighter is a fighter, and there is not much difference. There is no difference within the nation or across nations. These elite units is a way to create a sort of hero military unit that has a bonus in attack and defense. The basic mechanics is very, very simple. For 1 extra IPC, you grant a unit an elite condition that increases attack by 1 and defense by 1. Again, for 1 additional dollar, you get a +1 in attack and a +1 in defense. And this works for infantry or tank or fighter or tactical bomber, mechanized infantry or artillery. Now, if you don't have any special markers, you can just use these or any other type of marker to identify the unit as a elite unit, like this one here, for example. I'm marking that this American infantry is an elite infantry, so it will attack at 2, defend at 3. Okay. Or if I had this British tank as an elite, it would cost 7 IPCs. It would attack at the 4 and would defend at a 4. And that's the basic rule. Add $1 in your purchase to get a bonus of +1 attack, +1 defense. So that's how it works. If you want to make it even more distinct and with a historical component to it, you can use a variety of markers that is available online. Historical Board Game is a store that has many of these markers. So for example, this one here is the US Marines. Okay, it's a very nice one. This one here is the Japanese Marines, the Special Naval Landing Forces, SNLF, from the Second World War. This one is a armor marker for a British tank. There's a variety of these markers available online. So for example, if I purchase, I say I want to purchase a Marine for my US infantry, then this guy will, of course, from the US bases, San Francisco or Washington or Midwest, I would have like that US Marine unit here. Okay, so say that I'm moving this unit through transport, then I want to invade Iwo Jima here. So in this case, this regular infantry would attack at a 1. This one would attack at a 2, right? Now, if you so you can be creative and add special bonus rules to these. So for example, typically this house rule for Marines across a number of modified acts and allies, first round, because it's a Marine, it's an amphibious attack, it would actually attack at a 3 only in the first round for the shock value of Marines landing only in an amphibious attack. So this would attack at a 3, this would attack at a 1, the Japanese would defend at a 2, of course. Then the second round of this battle, if it still continues, then this keeps the bonus of an attack at a 2, but the Marine shock attack value no longer happens in the second or third round of this combat. Okay. Also, if you want to, so if you say that you're playing Japan, you can also buy this again for 1 additional IPC. Then you have your Japanese infantry, which will defend at a 3 and attack at a 2. And because it's a Marine, it has that additional +1 attacking at a 3 in an amphibious attack in the first round. Right? This one is specifically for English tanks. So I would declare, okay, in my purchase stage, I would say I want to buy a tank, an elite training for my tank, and then this would attack at a 4, defend at a 4. Right now, you may think a con of this rule is that, oh, okay, this overpowers the military units. So to avoid that, you are limited to buy only one. You can buy only one elite upgrade per purchase round. Otherwise, there would be lots of elite units, and elite means special and rare, in a sense. Also, if you want to be fancy here, Brazil is a pro-allies territory. When United States or England or Russia comes to Brazil, they become allied. To add a special bonus, whoever invades Brazil would also get an elite Brazilian infantry. In this case, this guy would attack at a 2, defend at a 3. Right? It's not a Marine, so we would not have the shock special first round bonus. This is a way to make Brazil more interesting, add more color, flavor, encourage the American player to come here. And this is actually historically accurate. Brazil did join the Allies in 1944 and helped liberate Italy with the smoking snakes. Right, guys, so these are some possibilities for having elite units in your Axis and Allies games. I think it's really cool. You can start from the baseline of just like +$1. You add +1 attack, +1 defense. You can only buy 1 per round. Let me know what you think. Have you tried this? Would you be interested in trying? Enjoy!
Hope you enjoyed this first compilation. More will come. Please like the video. Thank you.